Hey everybody, welcome to the show. So I was going through my porn collection the other day, and hey, don't judge me. Don't judge me. Everybody's got a porn collection. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong. I mean, you got your websites that you frequent sometimes on the internet. Maybe you got a spot on your hard drive. You got some videos on a hard drive somewhere on a thumb drive, maybe. Or hell, you may even have like some DVDs, like in a box in a closet somewhere. Maybe a box. And you can have Blu-rays. Nothing wrong with Blu-ray porn. Blu-ray porn. These days, it's fine. It's fine these days. There's nothing wrong with Blu-ray. Now, if you've got 4K porn, you might have an issue. That's. I mean, you really don't want. Do you want that much definition, really, in a pornographic film? Do you want to see the sperm in the money shot? I'm just saying. 4K, you might want to talk to a counselor or something. Just my perspective. Anyway, so I'm looking through my porn stash, and I noticed a video in my porn stash. The star of the video, the female star of the video, I know for a fact she's no longer she's deceased. She's no longer with us. Calm down. It wasn't a snuff porn. She wasn't killed during the making of the video. She died afterwards. Drug overdose or something. But anyway. But I know she's dead, is the thing. And I was a little conflicted. A little bit. So I wasn't quite sure, what how to handle that, because, she's dead. I mean, is there like respect, out of respect for the dead, you're not supposed to watch the porn anymore? I mean, in one hand you think, out of respect for the passing, maybe I shouldn't watch, the porn anymore. But if you think about it, I thought about deleting it, just erasing the video altogether, out of respect for the female actress's passing. But if you think about it, this is probably one of the last porns she'll ever do. I mean, because she's dead. I mean, they could dig her up, and really lubricate her. I mean, she's been dead for like a year and a half, 2 years now, so that's a lot of lubricant, really. And you have to really, maybe like a bucket of Vaseline or something to get it, work. Some folks like that. I'm not judging. But I'm gonna say it's probably one of the last porn she's gonna. We're just gonna assume she's not gonna do any more porn. She's dead. So I thought, out of respect, do I really want to delete it? I mean, because you just don't throw it out because the actress is gone. I mean, that's be kind of wasteful. I mean, out of honor her memory, I should keep the video around. Maybe not watch it, but just keep it on the hard drive. Then I thought, as far as I know, there's no real good protocol here for a dead pornographic actress video. What kind of protocol do you use when it comes to the moratorium on viewing a dead pornographic actress's video? And I'm pretty sure I came up with one. Just hear me out on this one. Here's what I think. You gotta look at the video now. Okay, look at the video. Here's my thought, okay? For every inch of cock, alright, that, she interacts with, it's a good word, she interacts with, you make that a month, alright? So, like, in this particular video that the dead actress is in, it'd be like, well, let me think, minimum 19 inches of cock. Minimum 19 inches. Although, now that I think about it, there is a black man who starred in the video with her, and he is like hung like a beast. I mean, he's a monster. I mean, they had to put like a telescopic lens to get it all into one shot. So, possibly 29 inches if you throw his. If you add him to 20, I tell you what, let's just go ahead and split the difference, and we'll just say 24 inches. Nice round number, 24 inches. Soothing, 24. 2 feet of cock, basically, is what the lady serviced during the making of the film. Which, if you use my formula, would mean from the time she passes, you got to put 24 months on the time she passes, and then it's okay to watch the video again. So basically, 2 years after her date of death, right, you could say it's okay to watch the movie again. That's what I'm thinking. I think it's a good idea. And now that I think about it, the black guy that was in the film, he actually did her first anal scene in a movie, and it didn't look all that comfortable. I mean, he was stretching her asshole out like an old pair of sweatpants. You know what I'm saying? It was getting all distended, and she was crying a little bit. She was like doing the ooh ah stuff, you know, but she was a little uncomfortable. So maybe I should add like a couple more months on for the uncomfortableness of maybe double his, you know, inches. I'm not that good at math, though, to be honest with you. You know, we have to bring, you know, like, you know, algebra into, you know, dead pornographic actress porn. Really? Yeah. I think we'll just stick with that, you know, take the number of inches, convert it to months, and then that's your leeway there. I think that's a good. Call it the Clark rule. I'll go with it. I'm okay with that. We can do that. I don't have an ending for this, so I'm just gonna say, welcome to Unemployed. I'm your host, Matt Clark, and we'll be right back after a more annoying intro and a word from our sponsor.
Live from Casa de Clark in beautiful Independence, Iowa, it's Unemployed with your host, Matt Clark. Promotional consideration paid for by McDonald's presents The Fork. Part French fry, part fork, The Fork. And no, I'm not making this up. Go on the internet, look it up. It exists. It's real. You ever wonder why there's an obesity epidemic in this country? You ever wonder? The Fork. Now, here's your host, Matt Clark.
Come on in. Have a seat. Very refreshing.
Greetings. Greetings, Internet, YouTube, children of all ages. It's I, your unemployed superhero, coming to you live from Casa de Clark, here in a somewhat warmer Independence, Iowa. We're in the mid-60s finally. It is, well, I'm actually recording this on the 3rd. You're probably going to see this on the 4th when I get a chance to upload it. Big news today. I'm calling this video. They're coming for your health care, Jim. Because they're coming for your health care. Some guy named Jim. Apparently, sometime on the 4th, those kooky guys in the Republican Party are coming for your health care, and they're going to take it. A lot of good your fucking marches did, didn't they? People got to realize that you know, regardless of who you vote for, why you vote for them, there's maybe like 4 people in the entire government that are for single-payer health care, for universal health care. Maybe 4 at the most, and none of those people are given any kind of credence by the establishment, the owners of our country. And yeah, we're not going to have universal health care anytime soon. So just give up on that dream altogether. And it's not because of Trump. It's not because of the Tea Party, the Freedom Caucus, or whatever the fuck you want to call them. The Democrats don't want it either. Trust me. I've seen Trust me, the establishment Democrats don't want universal health care either. So it ain't going to happen. And they're coming to take away Obamacare as it is. Now, it may not get by the Senate. I would not be shocked if it did get by the Senate. We'll see. The Senate and the House have a history of not getting along at times because senators kind of see themselves as being superior in a way to the House. So we'll see what happens. But I don't have a lot of faith that Obamacare will survive in the current form it's in anyway. Which, to be honest with you, I'm all let them repeal the fucker. Let them take it all back. Let them roll it all back. And then these idiots that still think that government works for them will finally get to realize that it doesn't. Which I find incredibly amusing. Government's not about the people anymore. It's about the economy now. The average politician doesn't give a shit about their constituents. They don't care about the people that vote for them. They do policy for what they think is best for our economy, not for the citizens of the country that they represent. It ain't about you. You don't matter. Your votes don't matter. Whatever fixes the Democrats might put in place if they take over the House and Senate, Trump's just going to veto those anyway. So I find the whole thing incredibly amusing. Let it fall apart. Let it go to shit. People don't learn, and let's face it, the whole point of this is racism anyway. You know, a bunch of old white people are terrified that they're going to pay the insurance for minorities. Ooh. That's what this is all about when it comes down to it. Is a bunch of white people feel like minorities are getting an entitlement and it's not going to be on their watch. Alright. I think I got a good perspective on this. I've been white, a white man anyway, for a good majority of my life. Yeah, you could say that. I've been a white man for over 40 years. I think I have a good handle on it now. Actually, I'm kind of pissed because for hundreds of years, for generations, white men have been seeing preferential treatment in the business place, in housing, in loans, in jobs, in salaries for jobs, just entitlements in general. I come along, and now we got to make everything fair. What the fuck? What about me? You know, that sucks. You know, there was a time in this country where, back in the 80s, where a middle-class white guy was doing pretty good for himself. Just my luck, I come along, and now we got to have equality. Give me a... Oh, well. If I had to choose, though, I'd still stay white. I think I would. Really, I would. Because clearly, if white people are losing right now, I'd like to know who's winning, to be quite honest with you, because I don't see anybody winning out there. I'm sorry, it's the Mexicans. That's why we got to build the wall. I forgot. Totally forgot about that. You know how good the Mexicans got it right now. I don't know. I've never understood racism. I've never understood grouping an entire race of people together and hating them just because of their race. I find that if you spend the time to, get to know somebody, to talk to them, to find out what they believe in, find out what their values are, what their beliefs are. If you take that time, you'll find many more reasons to hate them just other than their race. I mean, really. So I never really got racism. I'm more of a generalist. I just go ahead and hate everybody. Why stick it? Why pinhole yourself, right? Into hating just just hating the Jews. You know what I'm saying? Why not just hate everybody? It's much easier. You haven't got to keep track. You haven't got to ask for last names. That's important. You haven't got to look for names like Stein or anything that ends in an ER. That kind of thing. You don't have to worry about that. You just outright hate them. Works for me. Probably why I'm unemployed. One of many reasons probably why I'm unemployed. So yeah, they're coming for your health care. They're probably going to get it. I find it all amusing. Actually, what you shouldn't worry about right now is your health care, because I was reading an article on the 3rd, which is today, the day I'm recording this, that the House just passed a bill that allows companies to, instead of paying people overtime, they can just give them paid time off. So overtime as we know it may be going away. I'm not saying it is, but it's just one more of those wonderful benefits to having a Republican Congress and a Republican president. So not only is your water going to be poisoned, your air going to be unbreathable, but you're going to work in a sweatshop for no wages. No wonder we're getting along with the Chinese. We're turning into China, in a way. We've already got their restaurants for the most part. If you come to Iowa, there's like every 25 square feet, there's some kind of Chinese buffet. I don't know why. It must be like a law somewhere. That's the thing. Everybody's worried about building that wall with Mexico, but if you come to Iowa, there are Chinese restaurants everywhere. They're slowly working their way into our culinary world. All right? Not that I mind. I actually kind of like, Chinese buffets. Well, buffets in general. You can tell I'm a big buffet guy. But, that's what's going on now anyway in the world. So sometime today, as you're watching this, the vote will come, and my guess it's going to pass the House somewhere around 10:30ish Central Standard Time. You have to watch the internet. If your boss lets you where you work, watch the internet this afternoon. as charity in the world slowly dies. Yeah, been a rough couple of days. If you believe in the brotherhood of man, there's no brotherhood of man anymore. What it comes down to, I think, and this is just, again, been a white guy most of my life. Right now the white people in America are terrified because for years, decades, generations, America has been, Hitler's wet dream. It's been white people running everything. We always ran government. We pretty much always ran media. We were always on TV. In fact, right now, if you watch the broadcast networks, ABC, CBS, NBC, there's still no minorities doing talk shows at night on the broadcast networks. Cable's a little different. There's a few on the cable, but if you watch like CNN and MSNBC or Fox News, there's not a whole lot of diversity there either. So for years, white folk have just been used to running everything. And slowly but surely, minorities are catching up. We've had our first black president, Bill Clinton. It's a joke. By the way, technically speaking, Barack Obama was not our first African American president. Technically speaking, he's a half-breed. All right, he's not full-blood African American. I believe his mother is from Hawaii. I believe his dad's from Kenya. So he's not truly a black man. Mulatto is the word for it? Not that I'm splitting hairs. I'm just saying, technically, black folk, you still really haven't had a black president yet. There's still some white mixed in there a little bit. I'm just saying. And other black actors and activists agree with me, by the way, on that one. That's not a point. I liked Barack. I voted for Barack Obama twice. I have no problem with Barack Obama. I like people who have ideas. Something our government is bereft of many, many times. Anyway, like I was saying, I think the big problem here, though, is that old white people are terrified of change. I work in the IT industry. Well, I did work in the IT industry. I'm trying to get back into it. If you want to see people terrified of change, start changing up computer stuff with old white people. They get terrified of it. Just change their version of Windows, and old white people blow. Hell, just give an old white person a new cell phone, and their fucking heads explode. Oh, there's Max the Wonder Dog, by the way. You're all wondering where he was at. Here he is. Yeah, just change an old white person's cell phone, and their brain fucking explodes. God forbid if you go from an iPhone to an Android. God help you. Hell, my brother's just turning 50, and he bought his first smartphone last year. He went from an old flip phone to a smartphone finally. That had to hurt. So white people are hard. Old white people. And when I say old white people, that's a general term. Some people are old when they're 30. Some people are young in their 60s. So it's a general term, but that's what we're seeing now. I think is just a bunch of old white people terrified that their country's changing. And are trying, and if you want to get a window into that world, just listen to these fucking idiots who are the right wing media. The Rush Limbaughs, the artists formerly known as Bill O'Reilly, those kind of guys. The Glenn Becks. You'll get a good idea of where that mindset is. And it's quite frightening, actually. Very frightening. So there you go. That's my 2 cents on that one, anyway. Well, I'm going to close the video talking about my pop. Spent all day on the 3rd at the rest home that my father is in. He's losing his shit. We've already baselined that. He's losing his shit. And he's starting to get verbally abusive, I guess, with some of the nurses and his roommates at the nursing home there. They actually moved him 3 times today between different rooms, trying to figure out a roommate that he could actually coexist with. Good luck on that. So that's fun. I still think part of the reason why, if you believe in a God, all right, I'm not saying you have to be that you have to be a religious person. I'm just saying if you believe in any kind of God, karma, whatever you want to call it, I still think a big reason why there's 2 reasons why I don't have a job yet, in my mind. One I can control, one I can't control. The one thing I can control is I still don't think I've accepted the fact that part of the reason why I don't have a job is my fault. I had something to do with it. I just can't blame other people for causing me to lose my job. I was complacent. I was arrogant. I got a little lazy. So I have as much guilt in the process as anybody else who was involved in it. And until I accept that fact and change that in me, I may not get a job. That's number 1. Number 2, I think a big reason why I don't have a job is because, if I had a job right now, what's happening with my dad, I'd have a hard time dealing with it, because a lot of it happens during the day, during the work week, and if you're at a job, it's hard to leave that job to go take care of the situation. Like tomorrow, I'm going to go in at about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning, mid-morning, late morning, early afternoon, and just make sure that when they do move him permanently this time, that everything happens okay and he's calmed down and things are good. Which I wouldn't be able to do if I had a job. Especially now, as I'd be starting a job from scratch. I'd have no vacation time. Leaving your job for whatever reason, just starting out is not good. So, I think that's part of the reason why, too. I think when my dad finally is comfortable with where he is, I think my situation will probably change a little bit. I can hope anyway, though. That's just the way I like to look at it anyway. I would like to think that there is, a meaning behind the fact that stuff hasn't worked out for me yet. At least my ego wants to go that way anyway. Clock on the wall says about 20 minutes of video time. That's enough stupidity from me. I might do something again at the end of the weekend. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 comes out this weekend. I may not see it this weekend, though, so I can avoid the rush of people. I may wait till next weekend when everything's kind of calmed down a little bit. But I am going to go see it. Alien Covenant comes out at near the end of the month. I'm going to go see that as well. And the Dark Tower movie, which I just saw the first trailer for it. I'm not sure when it comes out, but when it does come out, I'm going to see that too. I've read all the Dark Tower books. I'm not going to ruin this Dark Tower story for you, but let's put it this way. It's very Stephen King-ish, and I'm curious to see how they... If you're not a Stephen King fan, I don't think you're going to fully... If they follow the story of the books anyway, it's not going to hit you as hard. I'm not a huge Stephen King fan, but I have read a lot of his books, and you have to have an appreciation for Stephen King, I think, to really enjoy the Dark Tower stories. So I'm curious to see what they do with it. Anyway, that's all I got for today. As always, if you got questions, concerns, comments, put them below. I'll answer them probably in another video down the line as I get a backlog of emails anyway. And that's all for now. I have been your unemployed superhero. This has been Unemployed. You say 60 San Diego. Don't drink downstream from the herd. Don't tug on Superman's cape. Be good to your mother. And take care. Resist. Whatever that means. See you later.